Hi there everyone! For today, I'll be showing you how we're going to use the Trello board, the basics of the Trello board, and how are we going to set up our work performance reports. So I have here in my screen the Trello website. So we have here the standard Trello.com. As you can see right here, it's just a blank space, a blank canvas. What I'd like you to focus on is on the upper right side here under boards. I'll be clicking on that one, and then you can have there your different boards. So when you create your own Trello account, you tend to have a personal board named Welcome to Trello. So you can just remove that. What we're going to do is that we'll be creating a new board. So this new board must be only created by your project leader, or you can assign someone who has strong internet connection. Not everyone will be doing this, only one person will be doing this, and then the rest of the team members would then get invited. So with this one, let's add the board title. For the board title, it's best that you try to name it according to the name of your project. So probably, let's say you're going to create a JRPG, and then if you have a set theme, you can add it, but for now, let's just have no theme, and then let's set it to private so that only your team members can see it, and also your immersion advisor. You can also have here like a motif if you would like to, so you can have photos or just the base color. So I'll just try to change it into this one to make it a bit more simplistic, and then you can click on create board. So with this one, you can see an initial setup guide. So we have the menu here. As you can also see, this is the board itself. So this entire space that we have right now is something which we call as the board. So think about it like your normal cork board, wherein you have your different notes. What's special about this one is that you have your different menu types, which is your to-do, doing, and done. And under this one, you have your different cards, which is your to-do lists. The Trello is based on something which we call as the Kanban technique. Kanban is a Japanese organizational style technique wherein you tend to arrange them into these little boxes, or you tend to arrange them in accordance to different styles, and then which are then organized into bigger styles. So these little boxes or these little tasks are more of your cards, which are then organized into these lists, and then your lists are then arranged into this board. It is possible for you to add another list. So let's say you may want to add something else. So for example, if you have so many things that you're doing, you can add another type of list. So probably you have a lot on your mechanics, and then you have the actual creation of your game, which is for the to-do, and then probably let's have something more for the research. So you can have a research to-do, and then you can have this separate as the to-do for your game development. However, for your own project, it is just necessary for you to have the 3 ones. So you have your to-do, your doing, and done. So your to-do, what this does is that these are the things that you have to do yet. So you have no progress of it being done, 0% of it happening, but it has to be done. Next one, for doing, these are the things that are being currently done by the team members. So we have right here, this would help you in terms of tracking down what are the things that your teammates are currently doing. And then the last one is the done. So the done would help you track what are the things that are already finished. So with that one, you would know what to do next. But before we move on to creating cards, one important thing for you to do is to invite your team members. So on the upper left one right here, just after your screen name right here, we have the invite. So once you click on this, you can invite someone to the board by either creating a link. So you can generate a link like this, copy it, and then send it to your other team members. Or you can just add here email address or the names of your team members. So by default, it's best for you to just add the names of, or rather the email addresses compared to that of their names. The names are usually just applicable if you are currently friends with them, or if it's possible for you to see them in public. So As you can see right here, I've typed down my email address, so it's automatically seen here. But let's say when you're going to type the actual name, it may take quite some time. So if you just have that one, you have your different options here. But if you know the full name, then it would be much easier. To make it much easier for you, it is best for you to just have your email address as not to have confusion. What if your team members have, let's say, quite a generic name? So with that one, there might be different Juan de la Cruzes in the Trello board. So just have the email address just to be safe. And then you can send the invitation. So once you've sent the invitation, your team members can then go to their email addresses and then click on the invitation board. So with that one, let's just move on to creating the cards itself. So we have right here, you're going to add a card. Right now, we haven't done anything. We're not currently doing anything. Let's just go to to-do. So when you go to your to-do list, you have there the add a card. And then you have here the title for this card. So let's say in the game development of your game, probably the first thing that you have to do is to create the outline of your script. And then once you press enter, you would see here that there is the title. And then for now, it's best for you to have these titles or these tasks placed here. So your tasks are based from your Gantt chart. And your Gantt chart is based from your work breakdown structure, which is then broken down according to your project activities or your detailed tasks. So let's say when you're creating a script, first you have to create an outline, and then afterwards you can actually create the dialogue or create, let's say, the entire script. If you just have create script, then that can either just be a project activity. If you divide it like this, it could actually be more of a detailed task. Let's say if you want to design the character turnarounds, that can also be part of your to-do list. In terms of your research, of course, you have to create your UML diagrams. So for your UML diagrams, you can start off first with your use case, and then afterwards your class diagram, and so on and so forth. It is easier for you to just click on you can just click on the list itself, and then you can add more details right here. So we have right here the description. So if you want to add a more detailed description, or if you want to add comments, it's possible for you to do so. So probably you may want to add, let's say, the list of your actors as well as your different use cases. You can also do that through the use of activity, particularly if you're not the one who necessarily created it. If you have members, you can add to cart the members. So you can add the list of your members. You can assign them as is, who will be responsible on doing that one. You may add labels again, so you can add in terms of team members or maybe in accordance to the type of activity. So probably you have the color red for the diagrams or UML diagrams, and then the color orange for, let's say, creating the script, yellow for creating the design in general. You can also have here the checklist. So the checklist, this is a more detailed version of the tasks that you have to do for this type of card. If it's necessary for you to create a checklist, then you may do so, but it's not really necessary. Attachments is more of guidelines that would help you create the use case. And for the cover, we don't really need that. You have here your different actions as well. You can move, copy, create a template, watch, and so on. But really the important thing here is you can watch it, so that if ever there are any changes, like let's say it's moved from to do to doing, then you have a way for you to track your progress. And once you've done other things that you can do for editing this one, you don't really have to save. It automatically saves since it's done online. Then you can just simply close. Next one is how we're going to use these different lists. So the idea of the Kanban technique is for you to actually check by moving these ones to the different lists. So for example, what I can do with this use case UML diagram is that, let's say I'm currently doing it right now. I'll be simply clicking on it, holding it, and then I'll be dragging it to doing. It's not really a lot to do, If I think, let's say, I need to do something else, then I can bring it back right here. So there's actually no limitation to this. You can actually move it around to done immediately after. But for this one, it's a way for you to actually track it. So when you're doing it, it would inform other team members what you are currently doing, which would then help track your progress. And then for done, this would tell your team members that this is done and you can move on to other things. And also, it's quite a nice thing to see that you've accomplished a lot of things. So with that one, that is how you create your Trello board. Hopefully, I would be able to see your outputs very soon. If you have any questions, you may ask through the comments below or through your subject teachers or work immersion advisors through the social media accounts. Thank you and stay safe.